let's go ahead and get started. This is a mountain dwarf. This is the one remaining species that is not represented in the streak, primarily because it hasn't existed since very early on in DCSS's development. And as kind of a throwback, hey, this isn't point 4. Yeah, right. They brought back mountain dwarves. They got rid of my beloved deep dwarves, unfortunately, because the devs love Tolkien now. They used to hate him, but now they love him. So now we got mountain dwarves. I decided to play an artificer because it's my favorite start. You know, Wand of Charming, Wand of Flame, Wand of Ice Blast. Hard to go wrong. But also because there's some history there. I used to play a lot of DDARs. That was like my first big streak, was just a bunch of Deep Dwarf Artificers. At the time, I was convinced it was nearly impossible to streak the game if you didn't play some kind of really good start like an Artificer. But, you know, as we've seen, the game is streakable if you play just about anything. You can get screwed by RNG, but it's a lot less likely than I originally thought. Although I will say that the pure RNG deaths probably did go down a certain amount after they got rid of out of death spawns that just kind of would pop up randomly, you know, so that like you would go upstairs and a Hydra would just be there next to the staircase. That was miserable. It was one of the few really good balance changes that happened over the years, and you know, one of the few that came from the newer crop of devs, I should say. Anyway, so we have 15 charges of Flame, 15 charges of Charming, and 5 charges of Ice Blast. That's a lot. We have a club, which we unfortunately swing at 1.3 attack delay with, so we want to get a dagger as fast as possible, or something that attacks at 1.0. Thankfully, our aptitudes are really, really, really good. They're not as good as DD used to be. We have a -3 dodging aptitude, so that's unfortunate. They used to have a +1, I believe. But they're still pretty good. We have +1 evocations, can't complain about that. +1 armor, +1 fighting. We got +2 in axes, which is the weapon, of course, we would like to use if possible. +2 fire, +1 necro, a couple of decent schools. If we wanted to go magic, +1 earth. We're starting as an artificer, so our stats kind of point us in whatever direction we'd like. So that's cool. +3 invocations. I think probably we're going to have an easy enough game. I think I'm going to go for a fun Invocations God, something that's not represented in the streak yet. Probably, if I can swing it, Dith, just for fun, because I want to see the changes to Dith and just kind of see how good it is, if it's good at all. Let's do our usual thing and bring fighting to 2, although I'm tempted to immediately bring stealth to 1. Let me look at the costs again. Yeah, -2 stealth is unfortunate. I don't train a lot of stealth anyway. Oh, you mean because Dith? Do you even have to do stealth as Dith? Is that like a thing that's required? We could train some maces and flails, by the way, for the club, but God knows I don't want to be wearing a club for the rest of the game, so, or even for 1 microsecond longer than I absolutely have to. No idea on Neo Dith. Well, we'll find out. Let's get a level of fighting, and then we'll get stealth to 1 probably. Interesting start. We have a wand, or excuse me, we have a potion and a scroll in sight. We also have a piece of armor. So it's, a 2 stack of potions, wow. Well, I'm gonna have to take a look at what he does. So it quiets all noise in your surroundings, your shadow sometimes tangibly mimics your actions. You can mislead enemies by swapping places with your shadow. You mean with their shadow? Because it used to be you stepped into their shadow. Takes away a point of HP, which is no good, but it is instant. Unleash an enemy's spells as if they were a marionette.